And in Episode 6, it's no, we need to all come together. So Episode 3, they need to kill all of the Jedi, and Palpatine realizes, I think the best way to do this is I need Anakin to do it. Anakin is the best Jedi ever, or he's really not the best Jedi ever. I think that goes to Obi-Wan, but the best, or the best Jedi at the moment is Obi-Wan. The best Jedi sage, or just user of the Force guy, is Yoda. And because even at that age, Yoda is very effective, but there's always, because he's the master and Obi-Wan is kind of the apprentice, so that relationship develops as the two of them have to rely on each other. Because that's the thing about the Force is that, well, there's two ways to do it. There's direction and there's action. So you always need those two elements working together to be effective. So that's why you have the Council and you have just the Jedi Knights. Council tells the Knights where to go. And yeah, that's how they're effective. That's how you use them, that's how you maintain the peace. And there's an army? Oh, okay, well, we're in charge of the army too. And what happens is, in Episode 3, Palpatine sets it up that, well, I tell the Jedi, I know the dark side of the Force, and I'm using it to control the Senate. There's lots of Senate members out there who know the dark side of the Force, who know the ways of the Sith. The Jedi reaction is, you've all been tainted by the dark side of the Force. We have to destroy you. Because that's part of their code, is that whenever you realize the dark side of the Force, destroy it utterly. Don't give it a chance to grow. Don't let it do anything. Destroy it utterly, Because that's, if it grows, it's going to grow powerful, and you won't be able to stop it. It's a super weed, the dark side of the Force, and especially Sith. So if anybody learns to control the Force on their own, and they start challenging you, you have to annihilate them immediately, because otherwise, they're just going to take you over. They're going to challenge you for power, and they're going to cause disruption. And there's going to be a massive body count at the end of that. So that's something else to realize. So as a result, they annihilate the Jedi. They spread the Jedi out, to one-on-one, and then, bam, turn an army on them. And, they're not always able to survive. And then anybody who's a witness to that, kill them as well. And I think the Wookiees quickly spread the word, and that's why the Wookiees ended up becoming a subdued race. They were punished and almost became like a slave race to the Empire, because they knew what the Jedi did, and so they had to quickly subdue that part of the population, and they just imprisoned them and warred with them, and it became a really bad thing. But they bombed the Wookiees back into their arboreal lifestyle. And the Wookiees were like, yeah, that's, they had to live like that because of that. What else? So the end result is there's peace at the end. So at the end of Episode 3, two things are realized. And this is after Anakin went ape-crap nuts in the Jedi Academy. And I think part of that, too, is that there's, the Sith is all about power. And because Anakin is born in by the Sith thing, he wants power. Whether he wills it or not, or whether he thinks it or not, he ultimately is going to want power. And he's going to want power through all sorts of things. He's going to be esteemed, and he's going to want, because Palpatine's offering him power, because that's the key thing to remember, is that Palpatine's basically feeding people this idea that if you side with me, I'll give you power. The more you side with me, the more you dedicate yourself to me, the more power I'll give you. And that's why Anakin says, all right, I willingly slave myself to you and accept you as my master, if you will give me this ultimate power. And because, Anakin wants to partly use that ultimate power to save Padme. Because, if there's one thing that's going to happen, Anakin does not want to lose any more family. And as a result, Obi-Wan and Yoda get together. They're the last surviving Jedi. And they're like, okay, we have to do something. We have to decide. What are we going to do? What are we going to decide? And Yoda says, Well, I think it's a matter of equations. Because something else about the Jedi is that you can imagine that, luck is kind of part of their thing. So these guys are gamblers inherently, or they could be gamblers if they wanted to. But it's also like, well, yeah, you just have an idea of the knowledge of luck, and you kind of go with it. But it's like, well, we know there's a master, and we know there's an apprentice. Let's go take him out. We have to face them dead on and destroy them. I think that's the only thing we can do. I'm the best, Jedi or Force user right now. You're the best Jedi. Anakin is the best Jedi, but he has the most Force in him. But he's not as, knowledgeable as you. I have to take out the Master. Yoda's like, look, I have to take out the Master because he's the most effective user at that Force. He has intimate, knowledge of it and all this, whatever. So I have to, I would be more effective at him. You need to take out Anakin. And he's like, no, he's my apprentice. I trusted him. I can't do this. He's like, look, I know it's hard, but you have to do it. And you're the only one who can do it right now. And it has to be done. And Obi-Wan's like, all right, I accept it. And so I can't find him. What do I do? Like, trust your feelings. What do your feelings say? Well, maybe I should tell Padme, I'm sorry, babe, I gotta, kill him. But, who knows? And, but he goes over there and he finds out, like, oh, okay, well, just follow Padme. If there is a way to, solve the problem quickly and effectively and simply, that's what you choose. That's why on Hodotep or Hodopa, Obi-Wan says, all right, tell the army to land here right now. And because they can just jump into space. And since you don't want to give the enemy time to prepare, you want to keep them occupied, go for the head. Go for the general and just start distracting everybody. And so that way they couldn't prepare themselves as in came the army. So that's like the Jedi mindset. And that's what's always effective as well. That's something else to consider. So it's like, all right, Yoda tells Obi-Wan, we have to take it out by the head. We have to go for the heart. That's the way the Jedi always operate, and that's why they always win. So I'm taking out the Emperor. You take out Anakin. They go do their respective things. Yoda strolls in there and says, peons, crush, force crush. All right, I'm here to take you down. I have to destroy you. So, and that's also why Mace Windu immediately said, you're Sith. I have to kill you right now. There is no yes or no's, ands, or buts. Because, if you use the dark side of Force, you'll use it until you die. Even if we take you prisoner, there is no prison, for this people who use the Force, because you're always going to use it to, get out. You can always overcome any guard, we put on you. So that's why you have to use it, use it good, or otherwise we kill you, kind of in exile stuff. So Yoda is gambling, and Yoda figures, well, this is what you have to do. You have to do it one-on-one. And we have to do it at the same time, because otherwise, one will help the other, sort of thing. So, and we got to keep them separate. So yeah, let's go do that. And Yoda can't defeat Palpatine. And Yoda realizes this. He's like, I'm too old, I'm too, frail to do this. And also the guy just has unlimited power. He has access to it, so he can't, do that. Obi-Wan thinks Anakin is dead. And why didn't he finish off his buddy? Why didn't he let his buddy, who he considered his buddy? He said, I love you, I trusted you. And so he lets him there to cook and suffer. But then again, when he realized, well, he did watch Anakin kill a bunch of kids. So, all right, it makes sense now. All right, you let Anakin suffer because, look, Anakin, you killed a bunch of kids, nothing nice for you, buddy. I just walk away, but still, should have finished it. Because, because he didn't understand the Sith by that point. He didn't realize the Sith, for one, especially since Palpatine's new thing is that he can keep anything alive. He can keep himself alive, he can keep Grievous alive, he can keep, Anakin, Vader alive. And he really has the control over Vader, because he basically says, I monitor everything you do. I know exactly what you're doing. I can shut you off whenever I want to. So I always have that power over you, is one thing. And that's why, Vader is like a leash, a lapdog, or a dog on a leash.